Kendrick Lamar has been on a generational run, and it's only February. From 5 Grammys to performing at the Super Bowl and becoming one of the most talked about artists. So none of this should be a surprise if you're on social media and chronically online like me. But this isn't a video about the beef or Drake or anything like that. Today I want to break down Kendrick Lamar's brand and see what we can learn from it to incorporate it into our own businesses and personal brand. So Kendrick Lamar is one of the most consistent artists out there, but his brand isn't right on the nose. If you're here watching this video, you probably might have watched my Sabrina Carpenter video. If not, you can watch it here. Her brand is very visual, and Kendrick Lamar's isn't. But what Kendrick Lamar does have is consistency, authenticity, and audacity. Those are the 3 things we're going to be talking about and how those 3 factors can help your brand. So I first heard about Kendrick Lamar in 2011, downloaded his mixtape Overly Dedicated, Ignorance is Bliss. It was one of my favorite songs at the time, and I was like, oh, this artist is dope. And he didn't have a name yet, but what I did know is he made me feel something. It sounded authentic, right? Then I heard his first debut album, Section 80. Like, this dude is sick. He actually story tells in his music, like he's actually talking about stuff. Good Kid, Mad City, Section 80, Overly Dedicated. The thing they all had in common is authenticity and storytelling. Kendrick Lamar is a master storyteller. Deeply personal stories, cultural stories. If you get it, you can feel it with him. But these narratives did more for people than just hear music. It created a narrative that connected the Black experience within America that he wasn't saying outright, but he was saying through his lyrics, through his lines, through what he was experiencing. He was just laying out, and people came and created community around him. Good Kid, Mad City is just the beginning. To Pimp a Butterfly. A bunch of jazz influence, a lot of Black culture rallied around that project because it meant more than music. Now at this moment, he's known for being extremely conscious. He's conscious rap, extremely lyrical. Even his album cover, where there are Black people in front of the White House, you know what I'm saying? And all of their identities are marked out. All these things are political. He's seen as that right now, especially when this released. And then especially when 2020 came around, his song All Right was used as basically the fight song for the Black Lives Matter protests. All Right, every time I went to a protest, that song was playing. Every time I saw it on TV or social media, that song was playing. Because that's kind of what the song was meant to do. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, but that's kind of what the song was already. Mr. Morale comes out. He goes to therapy. He probably had this complex where he didn't want to be seen as people's saviors. He wasn't the savior. He's making stuff that he likes. This is all like a book. Each album says what he's going through at the moment. After that, in 2020, I felt like people was looking for him to do something. And he's like, what do you want me to do? I'm an artist. I do what I want. I have my own things to worry about. I don't need to be a voice for y'all. But that's kind of what he was known for. He has audacity. He brings it up in his music. He was known for that. That was part of his brand. It was crazy. It's part of his brand. And he realized, and Mr. Morale is like, oh, okay, people are looking at me to do XYZ for them. That's not me. I'm not your savior. I cannot save you. You can save yourself, but I have to save me. I have to save me first before I can do anything. In Kendrick Lamar's music, there has always been this thing of authenticity and storytelling. With your brand, you need to do the same thing. If you are an artist, if you are a personal brand, you're gonna have eras in your business. But just as you heard Kendrick Lamar grow through each album, right? He didn't change. He grew. Everything that he stood for is still what he stands for. Even today, when he's on the stage at the Super Bowl, performing at the Super Bowl, what he's there for is the same reason why he dropped Good Kid, Mad City. It's the same thing in a different tone and context because he grew. So when you're looking to grow your personal brand, when you're looking to grow your business, have that mission statement first. Have your why. Now, how you go about that why and your mission statement is going to differ each time you drop something, each year. But you always have that vision. You always have that long-term vision in the back of your mind, right? To your decisions, you want to be authentic to you, your decisions, and how you want to portray yourself or your brand business online. And you want to tell the story of point A to Z. I'm not saying if you run like an HVAC company, you have to tell your life story and be like, I believe XYZ and this should be illegal and this should be legal or whatever. I'm not saying to push your political views and beliefs into your business or brand. I'm saying as a brand, as a business, you're going to have things that you agree with, things that you don't agree with. You're going to have things that are moral, things you think are immoral. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to inject those things into your business. For example, you're going to have core values for your business. Things like grit, determination, intention, right? You want to implement those things throughout the entire lifetime of your company, your brand, your personal brand, whatever it is. That's what I'm talking about. As you build the community, as you build your brand, as you build your business, as you make more money. If you're really interested in learning more about branding and content creation and the creator economy as a whole, go ahead and sign up for my newsletter. There will be a link below that'll take you directly to it to where you can sign up. Now let's talk about Audacity. Kendrick Lamar has Audacity. In all songs Kendrick Lamar is featured in his songs, he experiments and he's not scared to bring up topics. Great example of this is, of course, the beef that's happening. Kendrick didn't hold back. I'm not gonna lie to you. Kendrick did not hold back in that whole beef. And of course, with the song that kind of ended it all, Not Like Us, where he's pushing allegations that Aubrey is a PDF. You know what I mean? That is insane to put in a song. And to have all of America screaming A minor, that is insane. You have to have the audacity to do the things that you believe in, right? This kind of rides off the back of the first point where, you know, you have your morals, you have your mission, you have your brand values. One of Kendrick Lamar's brand values is authenticity. It's audacity. It's like, I believe in this, so I'm going to tell you I believe in this. And all of my art is going to tell you about why I believe in this and who you are, who I am, and why blah, 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 blah. He has this audacity about him that he doesn't hold back when he believes something is true. This section is going to be kind of short. I kind of rambled in the first one. I don't want to make this video 45 minutes long. So let me get to it. Audacity for you and your business. What does that look like? Stand up for what you believe in. Don't be scared to tell your opinion about things. If somebody is working with you, tell them why you don't like the work. You don't have to be mean about it. You don't have to be a dick about it, but you can say it in a way that people respect you as a leader. He's being funny at the same time, which is part of his brand, but he's also being extremely serious. You know what I mean? You don't get anywhere by mumbling and being quiet about what you believe in. You have to have the audacity to just go for it. One thing about me is I never wanted to cause controversy. I never wanted to get hate. But when you put yourself online, for example, you open yourself up to all of that, especially when you start dropping your opinion. And the people who aren't in your target audience, they unfollow you. They unfollow you, which is counterproductive, but that is good for you. It's good that people unfollow you. Why? Because that means it's leaving the people who are there for you. That is your target audience. When you have the audacity to say what you believe in and people unfollow, people are unhappy, fine, so be it. It's great. That means your core followers, your core audience is there for you. And when your channel grows, when that video gets viral, when it whatever, more people like that follow you. Those are the people who are going to be a vast majority of those that are commenting and following and liking and engaging. And that's what you want. Another thing I think of when I think of Kendrick Lamar is just raw creativity. Now, I have a feeling, I'm not sure honestly, but I think he has his finger in everything he creates, which most artists do. Like, most artists are some of the most creative people. And you can tell that by how they present themselves. So Kendrick Lamar, how he dresses is extremely intentional. The music, of course, is extremely intentional. The music videos, intentional. Everything has meaning. Everything has intention behind it. The different voices that he do in some of his albums, intentional. He has this specific creative intentionality behind all the decision he makes when it comes to him, his brand, his music videos, how he dresses, how he presents everything around his name. There's so much intentionality behind it, and we can really learn something from that. Right now, a lot of people are doing content for content's sake. That's not how you go about it. Content for content's sake actually does the opposite of what you think. If you do content for content's sake and you just kind of cast your net, you're catching everything. We don't even want to do that. You know, when people go deep sea fishing, you think they want to catch a little goldfish? No, probably not. Okay, there's no goldfish in the ocean. That was a bad analogy. I'm sorry. I don't have an analogy right now, but you get what I'm saying. When you were posting on social media, you have one person in mind, your target. Understand your target, what they need, what they want, what keeps them up at night. Understand all of that deeply and make content around that person so that you can solve their problems. You give value to them. There's no need to give value to all of XYZ because this is more important if you have a business or is selling a product or whatever. Know who you're talking to, make content for them specifically. Because that's how you grow. That's how you grow your brand. That's how you grow your presence, your community. That's how you grow in sales. Hey, you help people, you drive value, and you create a atmosphere where it's only geared towards that person and you helping them. So with this, Kendrick was signed by a record label called TDE. Kendrick left TDE to start his own record label / marketing company / creative collective. I don't know. But every time Kendrick drops a commercial from his studio, it's not selling on the nose. What it's doing is like breaking down barrier. For example, let's take this Cash App commercial that his label PG Lane did. It's the stereotypical investor banker guy talking about how to save your money or something like that. And Kendrick Lamar is translating to one of the homies saying like, you need to invest, you need to save your money, blah, 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 XYZ. Kendrick Lamar puts himself in the middle to be the person who has the audacity to explain why you need to do something. And he's not anybody's savior, but he's there as the middleman to kind of open your eyes and educate about these things. Again, everything is part of the brand, the bigger picture. Another thing I want to talk about is consistency. Everything about Kendrick Lamar is consistent. Ever since he dropped that first mixtape to now, has been consistent in different ways. Of course, he grew as an artist, he grew as a person, but the music, how he portrays himself, what he puts out, has been consistent. He doesn't do interviews. He doesn't really leak his music. He drops projects at a time. He stands for black and brown people. At this point, you're not gonna see Kendrick Lamar dropping a 30-track album. You're not gonna see him doing interviews. You're probably not gonna see him on stream. You're probably not gonna see him gambling. You're not gonna see him smoke a blunt. You ain't gonna see none of this. Why? It's not a part of his brand. He is consistent. I've never seen Kendrick Lamar do anything outside of the character that he portrays through his music and the media he puts out. Everything has been consistent. His lyrical ability, the type of music he puts out. I think the one area where I don't think he was that consistent was when he had his pop phase. If you remember, he made a song with Taylor Swift called Bad Blood, and he made, I can't even tell you what the songs are, but I know he made songs for like Maroon 5, and pretty sure that was just to bring him to another stage, introduce him to another demographic so people know his name. And this was around when Damn came out, which was one of his most commercial albums, one of the most commercial successful albums. Loyalty, Humble, Love, it had those type of tracks on it to where you could play it on the radio, you know, and part of the media rollout and to get him into this other demographic, he partnered or collabed with pop stars, which nothing is wrong with, but it wasn't consistent with his brand. In a pop album, you don't have polarizing views. Now for you, consistency matters. A brand is just how many times can you be consistent? How many times can you put you, your brand, your business, your product out in front of people's face till they realize, oh, that's X, oh, that's Y, oh, that's Z, without even seeing your logo. It's kind of what we were talking about in the Sabrina Carpenter video. Kendrick Lamar isn't that on the nose, but your brand can be. You can create these symbols and these colors and this iconography and, you know, XYZ for people to subconsciously know it's you before they know it's you. A brand is essentially what people say about you when you're not in the ring. You need to show up for yourself consistently when you put yourself out there in public, online, it doesn't matter. Make sure you have strong core values, a mission statement, a reason why, and your visual presence needs to all be on par so that when people see, so people know it's you before they know it's you. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a long one. I rambled a little bit because I actually really like Kendrick Lamar and his music. I've been a fan ever since 2011. If you have any questions, let me know down below. I'm trying to answer everybody. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It'll help me out so much. I hope that you got something from it and I hope that you can implement it into your brand. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one. I hope y'all enjoy y'all's day. Peace.